Welcome to another episode of Stack Your Points. As always, I'm Matt from the Matt Clausen YouTube channel, joined by RJ this week. RJ, how are you today?
I am doing well, Matt. We're talking about my favorite issuer all episode tonight. I am so excited to talk about Citi. I love Citi so much.
Oh, I am bursting at the seams to talk about Citi. I don't know which I like more, Citi or the Lower Decks episode Temporal Edict. We'll find out.
I was supposed to do the show notes for that today, and then life said, you're adorable. So they'll get done before Wednesday.
Absolutely. We're also joined by world record holder Lonnie from the Call Me Lonnie YouTube channel. Lonnie, how are you today?
That is an accurate title. That is an accurate title, and I am very proud of it.
I've seen the certificate.
I was still here. So yeah. So I need to find a place to hang it up, but pause.
I was going to say just off screen so that those who know.
There it is. It finally
There
showed
we
up.
go.
Guinness World Record certificate, y'all. Finally showed up. That's real.
The man, the myth, the legend.
I am not a myth. I am real.
I'm a real credit card YouTuber. I'm kidding.
But other than that, yeah, I feel good. I'm tired. I got a case of the Mondays, but what do you get on Mondays other than a case of the Mondays?
News about U.S. Bank and Citi, apparently. No, we're going to talk about that a little bit later on. But yeah, no, Monday is for Mondaying. Monday's been rough.
Can I just put the disclaimer out now that this is going to be a Lonnie Light episode with all the all the brands and cards that I don't touch or pay attention to because they don't fit into my setup?
We'll get your input one way or another, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm happy to provide my input. I'm just saying it's Lonnie Light.
We'll see what we can do here. Thanks so much. We've got our news roundup and topics. News. Citi did a thing. Citi did all the things yesterday. We'll follow up more when Craig rejoins us, but let's talk about it. Citi launched two cards on Sunday. They launched the Citi Strata card. This is a no annual fee card that will get you 3 times points on supermarkets, 3 times points on gas and EV charging stations, as well as transit, which includes car rentals. Their transit category is weirdly strong. Ferries are also included. Parking garages is included. Car rentals, as I said. Commuter ferries are included. Couple other things. Tolls are also included. So like it's an interesting transit category, and then it comes with a 3 times category of your choice. That can be anything for self-care, spas, gyms, salons, etc., etc. Pet care, select streaming and live entertainment, and then 1 times points on 2 times points on dining, 1 times points on everything else. Ho hum, no annual fee card. They launched the Strata Elite. This is the new $595 card that comes with 12 times points in the portal. We covered it last week. 12 times points in the portal, 6 times points on flights in the portal, 6 times points on Citi nights. So Friday night and Saturday night from 6 p.m. Eastern to 6 a.m. Eastern. You will get 6 times points on dining, 2 times points on dining anywhere else, anytime else, and 1.5 points per dollar on all other purchases. They also expanded the no annual fee cards, the ability to they added more transfer partners to the no annual fee cards at pretty bad rates, but the ability to do it is there, which I guess is cool. Most of those rates are going to be 1,000 points to 700 points. The Emirates rate was hilarious because it was 1,000 points to 560 points specifically, which is just a funny random number. And then the biggest one was for the Citi Strata Elite, the Citi Prestige, and the Citi Premier, Citi Strata Premier, which was a huge surprise. They all got American Airlines as a 1-to-1 transfer partner. Citi finally landed the nuclear plan. They got the nuclear plane on the ground. I think they ended up landing the plane in the mud, because if the point was to get people onto Strata Elite by extending the 1-to-1 to the Citi Prestige and the Citi Strata Premier, you gave your users of those cards no reason to upgrade to the Elite, because the Elite is a worse card than both, in my opinion. But yeah, it's interesting. It's the bigger news though is that they got American Airlines as a one-to-one transfer partner. We will see what happens going forward. Lots of points are about to get exchanged. Citi is on the hook for a lot of money to pay American Airlines, and even more money to pay Barclays later this year. But that happened on Sunday. RJ, any reactions to the launches?
I don't think these are bad cards. I think these are bad cards for some people. I think they are terrible cards for some people. I don't actually think these are bad cards if you care about Citi's ecosystem. And I'm not talking about the people with 17 custom caches. Like, that's not who I'm talking about. I'm
Right.
talking about like the people who do fly American. Maybe they have an American card, maybe they have one or two, like a custom cache and then the double cache, right? Like normal people. Like these are not bad cards. The Strata, just the vanilla Strata card and the Elite, if you want a fairly simple system and you want to go through the portal or and occasionally transfer to AA, like that's not a bad setup. Now, it's not what I would want. It's not what I will have, but it's not a bad setup. And I think I understand your comments about putting the one-to-one with American on the City Strata Premier dilutes going to the Elite. But I think if you're somebody who is in the actual target market for the Elite, it's not changing it. If you were somebody who was looking at the Elite to actually look at the Elite, this doesn't change it. If you were somebody who wanted the cheapest possible way to transfer to AA because you have 17 custom caches and 14 million thank you points, then yeah, probably not going for the Elite when you can just get the Premier. So I think Citi did a calculated risk of let's give them the option. If they're just moving points out, they'll go with the 95. We're still going to get the fees associated with that. If they use the card and get the welcome offer, we're still getting the fees there. And then we have a card that people might actually get and use in the Elite because that is now a World Legacy Pokemon exclusive card. So the swipe fees are going to be higher.
Yeah.
So I think they actually did it almost to protect the Strata Elite in the sense of people who are getting that for AA are actually wanting to use the card as well and not just using it as a transfer dump. They're using the Premier as a transfer dump. So it's protecting the brand in a weird way. I think that them getting AA is a huge deal. Um,
Yeah.
I I think finally the three major airlines being with three partners and it being, to quote Beyonce, putting a ring on it, I think that matters. In the credit card community, I think that matters. Now I am not the person that's going to talk about the devaluations and all of that. Like that is not my bag, and I'm not gonna drive in that lane. But what I will say is the people who are normal about credit cards and who have any chill whatsoever, this is going to benefit them. And I am glad for those people who now have a way to not just use an AA card to make AA miles. So I'm happy for them.
Yeah.
As I am happy for people who use Amex cards to go to Delta or use Chase cards to go to United. Like, I am happy you have joined that club.
And that's completely fair. Again, I don't think the cards are intrinsically. I think the Strata Elite is a miss for what it was trying to be, but it's not a bad card. I think City Strata is a fine card. Strata Premier is also a fine card. I don't like the way City operates, but like, they're fine cards. I'm not gonna poo the value that they can provide. I did just find it weird that they diluted the ability to juice even more signups out of Strata Elite. Now, I will give them credit for doing that because that's the pro customer thing to do. And I don't think of City and pro customer in the same sentence ever. Which, what bank do you think of as pro customer? So I'll give them props there. But I just, I don't know. There was a marketing thing that they decided to bypass for reasons. Lonnie, your thoughts here?
We're going Lonnie Light. I
Sure.
mean, Yay. Now, the fact that there's a non-direct or transfer partner card that works with American, +1. That's you, great. If this card checks your boxes, even better. I personally think that it's a niche card. So, and I don't mean niche like unique, but niche as in it's only going to be able to fit into a select group of people's wallets or strategies or make valuable sense in whatever way you want to assign its value, of course. Where it's not going to have, it doesn't have a lot of like agnostic, fully inclusive. I have a million and one ways I can use this card. It's much more narrow. I'm not going to say it's very narrow, but it's much more narrow than some of the other transfer partners or other cards that are out there in this particular category for the price that they're at. Well, the price that they're asking them for. But got to steal RJ's line again. Yeah, if it works for you and you're happy, like, what you calling me for? Great.
That's fair. All right. So that's the big news. New stuff seemed to drop earlier today about the US Bank Altitude Reserve. We're gonna wait to see if more develops on that, but this was literally 2 hours before recording. If you're interested, check out my channel.
Check out your channel. The Discord had a really good conversation about it. There was a lot of copium. There was a lot of 5 stages of grief. But there are some big altitude reserve users in there. So if you genuinely have questions because you have one and want to know, is it at all a possibility to use this going forward for anything, definitely check out the Discord because there are some people in there that I know for a fact can help you.
And I will say, I think as I process this more, I think I have positive vibes on this going forward. I'll just leave that there. We're going to jump to topics. And Lonnie, your topic this week.
Perfect. So I'm jumping back on the refresh conversation, but in a slightly different way. And that's because I feel like at least some of the more recent refreshes and the ones that are to come, the ones that haven't officially been announced yet, they're all telling us as the card holder what and where we can and how we should use their card that we signed up for. Now, granted, we are the ones going to them. They're not coming to us. That's called spade a spade. But they're telling us how we should use and where we can use their cards, how we use and where we can use their credits, and also how to redeem their points by changing up even the travel portals. That's what I mean by that. With all of that, which of course is rubbing a lot of people the wrong way because now we're not start seeing, now it's just too many coupons, as you had mentioned earlier. It's just too much work to manage the card for the price. What do you actually want from some of these leading cards? But more importantly, all of these gosh darn refreshes that are coming. Is there anything that you want specifically or would like to see, to go back to the question from earlier, that makes you say, oh, this is actually good now, I have to have it? What's there for you? Matt, I'm going to kick it off with you this week.
Sure. Thank you. So what do I actually want from leading cards or from cards after these refreshes? I want I hold transferable currencies in a higher regard than proprietary currencies. Now, that is not to say that I don't have proprietary cards. I hold a Hilton Honors card. I hold the JetBlue business card. I will mine those two point systems separately. But I value transferable currencies. I value the ability to always just pull my money out just in case bad things happen. Keep doing that. Keep giving me that option. I'm good on the transfer currencies, but I want the ability to move my currencies to places where I can still get good value. The question of that value is going to be changing a lot over time. Now, Chase gave me guaranteed value in their portal, which I never got the opportunity. I haven't used to the greatest extent, but they are still presenting the ability to get that value, but now it's on their terms and not necessarily on mine, which is an annoyance, but could still be useful. So I want the ability to still maintain good value, the ability to move my points where I need to get good value. Like my chase points can still go to JetBlue. My chase points can go to Hyatt. If I'm feeling I would like to stay a night in some place that is not my house, in some place that is not my partner's house, and I want to do it as cheaply as possible. 9,000 points come out of Chase, go right over to Hyatt. Boom, I got a night for 9,000 points. Makes me happy. So like that ability, as long as that ability is there, awesome. What I don't love is the Sapphire Reserve. The new Sapphire Reserve is going to feel not completely part-time jobby, but you do have to sit there and game out what credits are going to work for me, what credits I'm actively going to go after, what credits I'm not going to bother with. And as long as I make peace with that, I'm fine. I could also just sidestep everything and just say, would I pay $495 for this card after the $300 travel credit gets credited back to me? Yes. Cool. I don't have to worry about any other credit. You can, and hear me out, y'all can play that version of the game. It's not the best version of the game, but it is the least mentally taxing version of the game. And if you got problems upstairs for whatever they are, there's always help. But you can play that version of the game and let your mind gremlins do other things. I'm just saying. So, yeah, I want to keep getting good value. As long as my cards continue to give me value, I will accept what other issues you'll bring along. But I just want the cards to be better, just cheaper.
I'm not going to say you triggered me with the CSR, but I'm slightly triggered with the CSR based on your answer because it's exactly how I currently feel. $800, I don't want to pay it. Now, from a value standpoint, multiple definitions of value. We talked about this when we did the members only.
Mhm.
It's there. But based on my topic, who asked for it? So it's like now it's $800, 300 travel credit. Okay, fine, I got that.
Yep.
Points boost, I'll take it. I've already started taking advantage of it. Keep it. I'm okay with that. You know,
It's working so far.
it's working, and it works across multiple partners in which I travel with. So more than a double win. Is it a travel card traveling from a earning standpoint? Like now you earn points on travel. Is it a dining card? You earn points on dining. Is it a premium dining card with Chase Dining? Is it an entertainment card like StubHub and Apple? Who asked for that? Like,
I didn't.
it's too much stuff.
Yeah.
It's too much stuff. And so stop it.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to raise the fee and give us more stuff. How about you don't raise the fee? You could give us less stuff. Let's play that out. And I'm talking about the Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant here, which I think is brilliantly genius, where they're
Constructed.
like, we don't want to play this game, so we're just going to give you $300 in food credit that you just go out and eat, and you get $300 a year. It's still a $650 card, and it's like, but you want to go use it on dining, so here's $300 for dining. No ifs, ands, or buts. No form to fill out. No gotta pass go to get you $200. It's just it's not like they don't want to play that game in its current form. And please don't refresh it. Do not add $200 to that card. But anyway, they're like, you got platinum, you got this, just go. And I think more cards need to be like that. I've just answered my question, so I'm not going to come back around to me. So I'm going to flip it over to RJ before Matt and I go off on another tangent here and say something like Bill.
No.
I
Go ahead,
want
RJ.
I want more cards like my Delta Reserve. My Delta Reserve is an expensive card. It's $650. I just paid one annual fee. I paid the other annual fee a couple of months ago. If I use the companion pass, which is the marquee feature of that card, I have, quote, paid for the card because I will always have a flight for a companion pass in first class that is more than $650. Like flying to LaGuardia is close to that. Right? So if I'm going anywhere, it's going to be at least $600, right? Of that 650. So I'm always going to get the 650 back, quote back. Comes out of my account, I get it back. That is, I don't have to think about a single other goddamn thing on that card or on either of those cards. There are other credits. I have it hooked up to my Uber right now because I get Uber One with it. It's paying for my Uber One subscription, but I don't have to. I don't have to think about Resi. I don't have to think about anything else on that card. Can I? Sure. If I'm in a place that has a Resi and I use that card to pay, I'm going to get the credit. If I don't go anywhere that has a restaurant that I want to eat at for 6 months with that credit, oh well. That is what I want. I want a card where I can use the one feature that is the main marquee feature of that card, get my value, and then everything else is at my discretion. Like that's all I want. Like allow me to have discretion on how hard I chase those coupons. Because the platinum, thankfully it works out for me, but I have to do three or four things to make that happen. There is not a flight credit where I can get the companion pass in the same way on that, right? Like the Hilton cards are easy. I stay at a Hilton more than enough to make those credits up. Those are fairly easy as well, right? But the delta is a single solitary action a year makes those cards worth it. So that's what I want. Like, give me that marquee feature, baby, and make it real easy, and then everything else is discretionary. Because that way I can have those cards forever and not have to care. Like, you can change, as long as you keep that feature, change every partner with Starbucks and Arby's and whoever else you want. You keep that one feature, you can get money from those companies till the cows come home. Just do not change that feature.
I was gonna have to cut you off before we end up getting an Arby's credit and a Starbucks credit in the next refresh. That would
Stay
send
away
me
from.
over.
If we do, I'm gonna have to go buy a lotto ticket.
That would send me over the edge.
Just avoid the horsey sauce. That's all. Just avoid the
If
horsey
I had
sauce.
to add $7 to my Starbucks app every single month,
No, here's the thing. You're not going to add $7 to your Starbucks app every month. You're going to add $3.50 to your Starbucks app, and you're going to add $4.72 to your Arby's app.
I don't even know where Arby's is next to me. Like I am just
Quite frankly, you don't want to.
no, I don't really enjoy fast food at all. I am
They have the meats, guys.
meat sweat.
They also have everything that happens after the meats. There's your show title. Anyway, I had another thought here, and then it ran away. So thank you, Lonnie. We'll go to RJ, your topic this week.
So we have talked a lot about bad refreshes. We've talked about the fact that we haven't seen any good ones in a while. But what do you actually think makes a good product launch for a new credit card or a refresh? And I'm caveating this by you can't just say take all of the credits away and lower the annual fee. Like obviously, if all of the cards were no annual fee, they'd be great. If the platinum was no annual fee, like it'd be great. You wouldn't care about the coupons, right? But there is. So in the vein of realism, what actually makes a good product launch or a an update? Lonnie, I'm going to go to you first, sir.
Oh, that's a hard one. What actually makes a good product launch or a card update? You know what? I'm going to take the voice of the people here. And I say that because the credit card company there's two sides. There's a business side and a revenue side, and consumers are on the revenue side, not necessarily on the business side. And the thing is, they have all the data they need on us. They know our credit scores. They know how much money we have in our bank accounts. They know what we can afford. They know where we swipe the card. They know how we swipe the card. Like you tapped and paid, physically swiped it, you plugged the chip in, you shop online. Like they have all the data that they could possibly need. And so when you hit all of that data together and you're like, hey, a lot of our consumers are going to Arby's for some reason. Lean into that. Like, give the people what they want. Facilitate their lifestyles just a little bit.
The meat terrors.
I'm using it as an example because we just talked about it. All right, Matt, leave me alone. But the point of it is the flip side of that coin is, like I say, the business side, which consumers are not on. We're on the revenue side as consumers. But then it's like, either they reach out to a company and be like, hey, we can help send some people your way, or companies like, yo, we need some help. And you end up with $7 a month in a Dunkin' Donuts credit. I doubt that there was a majority of people that have an Amex Gold card were going to Dunkin' Donuts so much where they saw this as a good idea and a partnership in which they should lean into. I've said this before. I think Dunkin' Donuts reached out to them, and that's how we ended up here from a business standpoint. So a good product launch is give the people what they want. Where are they using? It doesn't have to be everybody. So not everybody across the United States of America has to be going to Macy's or Saks Fifth Avenue or anything of that nature. But it's the majority of them go out to eat, or they do this or they do that. And let's lean into that. And so that way, when we get a refresh or update, we actually find it beneficial from a consumer standpoint, from a consumer perspective. We find it beneficial because it's like you almost feel heard. Like, man, I spend so much money on gas and I only use this particular card, and all of a sudden now they are giving me a deal on gas, or they do a partnership with Shell or Chevron or something. And you almost feel heard. And I think that is what we're currently missing out on in these refreshes and updates, is because we're getting so much stuff thrown at us and we're all sitting there like, how do I use this now? Are you telling me that everybody had a CSR was actually using StubHub? I doubt it. The majority of them, like more than 10% of cardholders, were buying tickets on StubHub. I doubt it. And so now when it's like, oh, let's go do something with StubHub, and it's like, wait a sec. Why? We're all sitting here like, now I guess I got to use this $300 so I can get whatever I define as value back. I would say almost the same thing for Apple, but chances are the majority of them are probably already paying Apple in some way, shape, or form. There are RJs in some case, and they're probably using their Chase card. I'm not gonna lie. Sorry, RJ, not to call you out on that, but I know you love your Apple. And from a business and consumer standpoint, I honestly think that one came up with Apple saying, we just want you guys to entice your card holders to put it on your CSR card. Pay us. They're already paying us anyway, like debit card, Apple card, whatever. Pay us on your CSR card. And they struck a financial deal. I actually think that's how that one ended up, but neither here nor there. The point that I'm trying to make is that a good product launch actually does something for the consumer. Think of whatever your favorite product is. RJ, I'm going to use Apple again because it's easy right now, and I've already brought it up. Apple's about to have another announcement. I'm not going to say every time they do a product launch, it's like out of this world. It's the best thing ever. It's not. It's far from it. But it's what they do and how they present their new products to their loyal consumer base that makes it beneficial, which in turn makes it good for them and good for the consumer. So that's a great example of, here's a product launch. We're not just going to give you something you didn't ask for. We're going to do this. We're going to enhance this. You're using your camera. We're going to make better cameras. You burn out your battery. We're going to give you a better battery in the next one. You want a higher refresh rate on your screen? We're going to give you a higher refresh rate on your screen. You might have to pay for the pro version. You got to pay a little bit more, but at least we're going to give you that particular option. I think that's what we're looking for because that's what we're used to. When something we spend a lot of money on gets better and works for us, where we feel heard in that purchase, makes it a good launch. And I don't think the current updates and refreshes are checking that box at the moment.
I also think to one of your points, like general credits are always better than specificity, even though those partnerships make the companies happy, right? Like a general dining credit is always going to make the consumer much happier than like, here's $25 at Five Guys or whatever.
Yeah, like you can get $300 off at Nathan's Hot Dogs every single year, and you never go to Nathan's Hot Dogs. That's not. Can you make it Wetzel's Pretzels instead? At least I would get some of that. I hope I don't eat $300 in pretzels, but I'm just saying. You get what I'm saying.
And I could
But
go to Aunt Annie's for $300 a year and be real happy with myself.
Have you seen prices lately?
It's like 2 trips.
but all I'm saying is when a product gives the consumers what they want, the consumer, everybody wins. I mean, we all know what happened with USB-C with Apple. I'm going to stick with this one because this is a real life example. Everybody wanted it. Apple's like, I'm not giving it to you. They got their hands forced. They did it. And guess what? Everybody was happy.
They're making more money than ever now.
They put ports. I have a MacBook Pro next to me with ports. There are actual ports on this computer.
You have AirPod Pro Maxes or whatever they're called, whatever the Max AirPods are, that are now USB-C. I don't know if you have first gen or second gen.
I have the USB-C. Instant buy. It was an instant buy.
Exactly. Give the people what they want, make them feel hurt. Even if it works against you, even if you're like, I don't want to do that. But you do it anyway, and you can be like, I still didn't want to do it. We made 60% revenue, uptick. Who cares? Your P&L is up, your customers are happy, your NPS is up. I'm talking business terms now, but credit cards can do the same thing. And yes, I don't need a specific dining credit. Going back to the brilliant, just give me the hot dog, dang it, dining credit. Just let me go wherever I want to go with it. And we'll all be much happier. We'll probably all use the card a little bit more.
Matt, as the channel curmudgeon this week, apparently, though I think you're much less curmudgeonly than some of the viewers, but that's neither here nor there. What do you think? We're gonna have your happy hat put on. Maybe wish cast a little bit of the Wells Fargo Beyond here. Channel that launch that will come before 2030. We're sure of it. Matt, what makes a good launch? What makes a good refresh?
So the biggest things for me would be those broad like if you're going to do credits, broad category credits. I think you're going to make your customers significantly happier. You're going to buy more brand loyalty, and buying brand loyalty is kind of important right now, especially as Chase's mission is you're going to use your Chase card first. American Express's mission is you're going to use only our cards. Wells is just a plucky little underdog, and who knows, but like they give you enough options to use their cards. Nobody wants to because of a annoying thing they did 15 years ago. And yes, I keep brushing that under the rug. It was a serious thing. Yes, all banks do it. Anyway, Bank of America buys your loyalty by literally buying your loyalty. When you put money in with Bank of America, they give you the ability to like gain more rewards based on the amount of money that you put under their stewardship. Like you give them $100,000, they will give you a 75% boost on all of your spend. Regardless of not regardless of which card it is, but all of their core cards, you earn higher earnings. So like give people a reason to stick to your brand. For Chase and Ultimate Reward earnings for the longest time, it was the value that you can get not only inside the travel portal with the Sapphire Reserve, but Hyatt, it was Singapore, it was United, it was the ability that your bookings in the travel portal with Chase, a United flight was getting you not only all of your United miles because it was a cash booking and a direct booking, but like you could gain more status with United from the travel portal booking that you were doing. Um, those sorts of things to buy loyalty across the board are going to be better than here's a credit at a company that is very, shall we say, contentious. I don't know which company I'm thinking of. Oh yeah, it's StubHub. Um, or no, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's StubHub. Like, do a general entertainment category. Like, you don't have to partner with StubHub. You don't have to partner specifically with Live Nation and Ticketmaster. You don't have to partner specifically with that company. Um, broad-based entertainment credit would have been better. Broad-based travel credit, like Chase, the one thing they do right is their $300 travel credit on the Sapphire Reserve. There should be broader categories, broader credits. Um, Other things, I think each issuer should issue a modular card. I think each issuer, if you are going to be serious about this game, now you can't just plug it in and just be like, oh yeah, give me 17x everything. No, within reason. But you should be able to design a card within the ecosystem that fits you, especially given that they know what your spending is. Like, you can go in and I would love to see an issuer create a card that is you do the soft pull for whatever. They're able to get a sense of where you spend your money every month, and they can tailor your earnings to how you spend your money. If they notice a lot of dining, then you get a higher dining multiplier so that not every chase card is 3x dining. If you're somebody who goes hard on dining, hey, maybe we should give them a 4x multiplier. Maybe we should give them a 5x multiplier on this card. Maybe they don't need 1.5. Maybe they're spending a lot in non-essential, non-category spend. Maybe we should bump them up to 2 to keep them around. I would love to see, like, if you're going to use like big data and you're going to use data pools and data lakes and data warehouses to kind of determine like what my credit tells you about me, and you've got access to how I spend my money, like use that to tailor a card to me. You have the capability with big data. You hire data analysts, you have data scientists on staff, put them to work doing something interesting. You have access to large language models. You could design in-house large language models. Utilize those large language models with your data analysts to put together what an interesting card would be for certain subsections that you're trying to chase after. You want a younger generation? Go after, like, plug in the numbers, turn on the large language model and go from there. Like, you have people and resources to do this. That would be more interesting than, oh, here's a card with 3x dining, and here's a card that, we think that 4x on pet supplies works. Maybe. We'll just throw it out there. Like, you have data, you have things available to you that can be somewhat predictive. And I'm not going to say that it's artificial intelligence, but you do have large language models, you do have data available to you, and you have the ability to hire data analysts and data scientists who can put together models and card models and like semi-modular cards that can fit and create a sense of brand loyalty for somebody as their first card, as their fifth card, as their 17th card. You are muted.
First, Matt, I think you need to stand up because your watch has been telling you for 45 minutes to stand up. Um,
Yeah.
Secondly, do you ever think there's going to be a point where they're like, okay, if you use the credit at StubHub, you get 350. If you use the credit anywhere else, you get 250. Can you see a world where they almost like, because they don't want to not have these partnerships, right? Like they
You mean
want
like
you,
points boost for partners?
yeah, like they want you to use their partners, but maybe they also realize that, like, that prescriptiveness is turning people off. So as soon as you use it somewhere else that'll trigger the general credit, you lose the ability to use the partnered one. But if you use the partnered one, or maybe like it's a portal thing that you get to go into the website and pick which version you want, right? So could you see a
Choice is
world
always
where
good.
where that happens? Or do you think they're just so locked into their partners that they're not going to be that creative?
I'd actually
I
like to see that just for bonus categories, especially like you say with dining. Like you get 3x on dining, but if you go to Five Guys or Auntie Anne's Pretzels, it's 5x on dining. Like I'd be okay with that. Cause then it's like I'm not necessarily losing. It's my choice if, I'm a Wetzel's Pretzels versus a Auntie Anne's. But at the same time, but that's the whole part of the business partnership is to help drive traffic to those people. So it's like I'm still winning. And let's just be real. Without that partnership, you can do it today. And it's like I go to Wetzel's, I just use my other card. Like, but then you lose out.
Chase already does this with Lyft and with Peloton.
Exactly. And it's like now we just shrink everything down from a consumer standpoint. Now it's like, oh, I don't need all these cards. I can just use this one. And it's up to me if I actually want to use the bonuses that I could receive.
Yeah. I could certainly see promotional credits where like you have a general, let's say 150 entertainment credit, right? But like you go through Live Nation, you go through StubHub, you go through whoever, and if they're the most preferred nation because they paid Chase whatever amount of money, I'm fine with them getting a $350 credit. Like that is not nearly like the whole system is offensive to me. That is much less offensive to me than what we currently have. Because now you're forcing someone into StubHub when StubHub may have done them wrong at some point because that's what StubHub does. And instead, what if instead they wanted to use SeatGeek or they wanted to use somebody else, right? The general credit covers that person. So you're still buying their loyalty by giving them that general credit. And then you can get them to your preferred partner if they're willing to go to your preferred partner for that bigger slice of the pie. That would work out great. It, you could use that on pretty much any credit. You could do a wellness credit. Well, if you go to Peloton, you're going to get $500. But if you go to Hydro, or you go to Barry's Fitness, or you go to bare knuckle boxing behind the corner, you're going to get your general credit, but come to Peloton and we'll give you $500. Go everywhere else, get like a buck 50, 150. So yeah, that would be fine. I would prefer that compared to the system we have because the system we have is not good.
Is there a lot of bare knuckle boxing on the corners of downstate New York, Matt? I'm worried about you, friend.
That's not done in New York.
Only where Matt hangs out.
Okay. Okay. Gentlemen, I appreciate your responses. I think that we need to send this to all of the banks that issue credit cards and have them take a little bit of a look at it.
They blocked my number.
I think they watch me with scorn. Oh, this guy again.
They take rotten fruit and just start throwing it at the television.
Yes.
Not my TV. Don't touch my TV.
Jamie Dimon sees my face on his television. He just immediately throws things at it. Then it goes buys another TV. All right. So thanks, RJ. We're going to jump over to my topic. My topic is Citi focused again. Sorry, Lonnie. Citi is attempting to plant their flag at the top of the credit card podium. Do any of us think that they did? I don't. And will Strata Elite and the American Airlines transfer partnership materially affect the other card issuers? So what I mean by this is like for the longest time, we've always said Chase doesn't have to do anything because nobody's coming after Chase. Well, Citi just landed the most valuable airline currency in the game with American Airlines. Chase is probably going to have to take notice. American Airlines, I'm sorry, Delta and American Express haven't had to do anything because Delta gets so much spend. Delta points aren't the same as American Airline points, but Citi landing American Airlines and what that could mean for the value of Citi points and the value of Citi cards does that affect American Express? That's what I mean here. Lonnie, I will turn to you first this week, and then we'll go to RJ.
So,
Obviously.
two-part question. The first
Yep.
part is, did they plant the flag at the top of the podium? No, I don't think they ever will get to the top of the podium, no matter how good their card is. So I'm not going to say it's good. I'm not going to say it's bad. I'm just going to say the people are never going to allow it. They're never going to allow something over a Chase or an Amex to be at the top of that podium, to plant that flag. Those flags are never coming down. So I hate to say it, I'm just going to use Apple again, especially here in the US. What's the best phone out there? Everyone's going to say iPhone. You ask if someone that has an iPhone, when did you use any other phone? I've never not used another phone. And what are you comparing it to? You don't know. And that's going to happen the exact same way. So it's like, oh, this is the best card out. The Citi card's actually really good. There's no way it could be that really good. It's just the way that it is. Also, go try a Samsung device or a Pixel device. Straight up, people.
What about
Just
nothing?
chill. Actually, nothing's not very bad. Nothing is unique, and I think as a new to the tech space, from a hardware standpoint, they're relatively new. Only been around a couple of years now. They came out very strong, but they also had one of the greatest tech marketers, Carl Pei, leading the pack, who, of course, co-founder of OnePlus. Just get out of this country and then ask somebody what a OnePlus device is, please. But Carl Pei knows how to gain attention, and I think he'd knock that one out of the park. But also, it's pure Android, so yeah, it's doing well, especially in the type of market and competition that they have. But we don't need to get into that tech nerdiness because I can go all way longer than that. So the second part of your question, did the AA transfer partnership have an effect? I think yes. I think that's definitely, no matter what, going to turn heads. Don't forget, they got to do it, Matt. Got to do it. Got to say your favorite. Built came out of the gate with an AA partnership, and they were able to ride that coattail for years before they lost that partnership. But people pay attention to where AA transfers because you can't really transfer to AA. Like nowhere. No one really transfers to AA. So the simple fact that it's not even, it's actually exclusive to be able to transfer to AA. It's really hard to get points and miles and backdoor bookings with AA. There's only a couple of backdoor booking routes that you can even take to end up with AA. And so to be able to provide another way to directly get to AA, no matter what, I don't even fly AA. And even I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. It turned my head, not going to do anything with it, but at least it garnered my attention enough to be like, yeah, that's pretty cool. Wow, that's kind of big. Chase didn't do it. Amex didn't do it. Don't act like they don't got the money to do it. So yeah, you got to give them credit for that. Now, is it gonna be an absolute game changer? It is if you fly AA. If not,
Yeah.
well, you got to fly AA and want a Citi card. But if you don't fall into those two buckets, it's not really going to move the needle for anything else. But other card issuers will be paying attention. I will say other card issuers will pay attention to see the pros, cons, positive effects, and see if they can duplicate that for their partners as well. Wouldn't surprise me if like Amex just says, we're going to go all in on Delta. Chase says we're going to go all in on United. And then we're going to have this travel portal transfer partner war, even more so than we have now because of this.
So redoubling efforts, not necessarily trying to outgun Citi at the multiplier game that Citi
exactly
has over them. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, look at points boost right now with United. Like the second that thing opened up, I'm like, oh, this is great. I just had a conversation with Joe, called me out of the blue last week, and I ended up helping him out with a United booking through Points Boost, where I'm like, the Points Boost plus United, once again, very niche. You got to have a Chase card, you got to fly United, but if you check off both of those boxes, i.e., myself, it's effing great. I see this as a duplication of that, where this whole AA thing for the right person could be great. And could this be that pivot point that allows you to pick a partner or pick a card ecosystem and fully lock in and say, screw all the other ecosystem options. I'm going to go all in on these, or finally just pick a partner and be like, I can get the best value through this particular method. I don't need to fly anyone else. I'm speaking out of experience here. It can happen. I'm living proof of it. So yes, I see this could be very have a really strong effect on the game and on the market. And like I said, with if Chase and Amex look to the left and look to the right and they see what Citi and AA are able to do, maybe they're starting to eat some of, their their card holders, or United or Delta start losing people as they start going over to the Citi for the AA, going to American Airlines. Yes, that's going to turn heads. That's going to make people want to change, or at least the card issuers want to change their business model. These are the types of things that we need. This is that good competition. This is that good trouble, to use John Lewis's words, that we as consumers want, because good competition works out great for us. That's probably where points boost came from. Make it even a stiffer competition and give me 2.5, give me 3 points boost right out of the travel portal. I'm all in for it. And I don't need the Citi card. I just need them to put pressure on Chase and United to do so.
No, it definitely makes sense. RJ, your thoughts here?
So I don't think they actually were trying to be on top of the pile. I don't think they
Okay.
were going for number one. I don't. I think they wanted to be in the conversation, and I think they accomplished that. Because now, if somebody is going to say, hey, I travel, I want to get a premium card that offers me something, right? Okay, now you have the Platinum, you have the CSR, you have the Ventrex, and you gotta mention the Strata Elite. Whether we think it's the best card or not, it's gotta be mentioned. Right? And just that ability to be mentioned in the conversation, or when people put like the top, cards together, the top end cards together in the space, they're going to have to now include this one. That is enough, I think, for them to have won at least a battle. I don't know if they've won the war yet. Nobody knows if they've won the war yet, but they've won a battle, which is being mentioned. They've won a battle. They have a direct partnership with AA now. Now you have to mention them when you talk about Amex and Delta and you talk about Chase and United. You have to now mention Citi and AA because those are the 3 legacy carriers. And those are the 3 companies that are directly with them and have been in different circumstances for a long time. And they're who, after the Barclays thing with Citi, are going to hold those AA cards. So they have now entered the conversation and nobody can deny them that spot at the table. That is a win. That is them doing their job. I do not think they were going for the CSR or the Platinum. If they wanted to go for the CSR, they wouldn't put their price at the old CSR price. They would have gone higher. They weren't going for what the Platinum is going to be, what the CSR is now, or will be in October. If they're going for a different place, they're going, I think, more directly at the Ventrex than they are at the Platinum or the CSR. And they're going for people who like American. Because if you don't like American Airlines, they already know they're probably not your preferred if you're not heavy into American or one of their other airlines that you can backdoor 2 different ways. So do I think Citi did a lot of good here? Some. I think anytime 1.5 becomes the floor on a high-end card is a good day because that is going to put pressure on Chase and Amex and all of the others This is not just the Venture X, is it 2X for everything? This is another major card that is not 1X. That is also good. You can ignore it on the Venture X because it's only 2X. You cannot fully ignore it now because there's 2 cards out of the 4 main ones that are not 1X everything. That is important. So I think there are things here that Amex and Chase are not going to be able to ignore. They're just not going to be able to because they're smart companies, more or less, run by smart people, more or less, who want to make money. So I think they would ignore it at their peril. And American Express now has the ability to see what the baby refresh on the Venture X is, the launch of the brand new CSR, and the entire new launch of the Strata Elite. Amex is in the 4th place. They're doing the last refresh of the major 4 cards. So we'll see. We'll see what pressures them. Because if they come out on the Platinum with the usual 5X on airlines and suddenly it's 1.5 everything else, that's going to tell us a lot. 1.25, like, also going to tell us something, right? Like, it is going to tell us, that refresh is going to tell us how the war is going to go. We don't know yet. There's no way for us on today's date to know how the war is going to go. But for a battle, Citi did better than I expected them to do. It is not a card for me. I will say that till the cows come home. But it is a card for someone, and I can tell you who those someones are, right? You got another Citi card, you fly AA, you don't want to get a direct AA card because you want some flexibility with where your points are going. Maybe you only fly a couple of times a year where there is an Admirals Club that you can easily access, and you want a couple of passes, but you don't need a ton, right? There are people this card is a perfect match for, or a close enough perfect match that the Platinum doesn't work, the CSR doesn't work, and the Venture X doesn't work. There are people this card will work for. That is a win. This card is taking that 1.5 and running with it. That is a win. They are coming in at the old CSR price point. Also a win. Citi won a battle. You don't win a war by winning a single battle, usually. Usually there's a couple more you got to fight. So we'll see. People going on Reddit and being like, I got this card, I made a purchase, and now I got to wait 7 days for a code to come in the mail because my account is locked, is not great. Citi's customer service is not great. Their history of you not being able to put things in your mobile wallet consistently is not great, right? Like, those are challenges that they will have to battle. But I would consider them winning the first battle in this war. I would consider it a win. Getting AA 1-to-1 at any point is a win for Citi. They launched a card that gives you some things. Again, this is not a card for everybody. The Platinum refresh is not going to be a card for anyone. I just hope it's a card for me. I don't care if it's a card for anybody else. I just want it to be a card for me. So I get what you're saying. I understand where you're coming from, Matt. I absolutely do. But I don't think Citi was going for number 1. I think they were going for number 3, and I think they nailed it.
Fair enough. No, competition's good. I do think this will open competition. I'm curious to see what, if anything, might happen with regards to that competition. I would love to see either new multipliers or redoubling on some multipliers or looking at some of the multipliers that Citi's doing. I wouldn't necessarily do, okay, weekend dining, or like just say weekend dining gets you a higher elevated multiplier than just being from 6 p.m. Eastern to 6 a.m. Eastern. That is a weird thing to set your hat on. But if you
still
say
like the name City Nights, still like it.
It's great marketing. It is. Chase dining weekend would be fine. And anyway, I'm interested to see how Chase and Amex respond. I'm interested to see how Capital One will approach things going forward because they have the weakest of the ecosystems. And it'll be interesting to see what US Bank in the future may or may not try to do, and what Wells Fargo will do, because Wells Fargo's, they're dealing with some stuff right now, but they're late to show up. But when they show up with cards, they show up hard. So we'll see. Um, yeah, RJ, with that, any final thoughts for this week?
My only thought is you should go to stackyourpoints.com and join our Discord, find out about our membership information, find direct links to Matt and Lonnie's channels. You can join their membership programs. I can only watch so much credit card YouTube because I talk about credit cards every single day in our Discord, but I almost consistently watch all that Matt and Lonnie put out unless it's a pure United video, and then I go, I wish I liked this more than I do, but I love how Lonnie talks about United, so sometimes I watch it even still.
Thanks. But yes, definitely check out stackerpoints.com. Lonnie, any final thoughts this week?
Yeah, I'm gonna make another United video just for RJ.
Sweet.
I'll watch
Love
it. I can't promise I'll watch all of it, but I'll at least start it for you.
Look, I am a person that wants as much value and bougie and pampering for every dollar that I spend, and United seems to check those boxes off for me. They treat their loyalists very, very well. I don't care what anyone says. I'm speaking out of decades of experience. They've earned my money, and as long as they keep treating me right, they're going to keep getting my money. But other than that, no, I'm going to just resonate once again everything that RJ said. Come check out the links, come check out the websites, come check out our channels, come check out the Discord, have a conversation. Don't be a stranger. We're all friends here. Follow the rules. I'm going to go ahead and throw that asterisk out there in the bylaws. And let's have a fun, safe, and educational and informative environment. So when we all play together, we can all have fun together.
Absolutely. Thank you, Lonnie. Yeah, as always, where to find us. RJ covered that. RJ and I have a new project. So check that out. We throw it into the Stack Your Points Discord as well, but it's the Bridge Banter podcast. We're starting a Star Trek podcast. We've started a Star Trek podcast. So definitely check us out there if you're interested. But
that's for real. Y'all for real did that?
No, we have like an actual podcast. We just did episode 2 that came out Monday. We'll be recording episode 3 on Wednesday. And Matt and I need to talk about the new show coming out in 2026, because we might have to pause Lower Decks and talk about some brand new Star Trek, and that is adorable, Lonnie.
I don't think I'm going to be invited to this podcast, y'all.
Oh no, you can be invited. Everybody's invited to the cookout. It's just what happens at the cookout.
Look, we're gonna fight at this cookout.
Star Trek would be a lot more fun occasionally if you just gave Will Riker a lightsaber.
I don't trust Will Riker with a lightsaber.
There's not a single Star Trek thing in my office.
That's fair.
And not adding it. We're not going there. I'll be that guy.
It's okay.
That's fine.
I am not a Star Wars fan, so balance.
Stormtroopers are king. They are awesome. This whole section is dedicated to Stormtroopers. Imperial Stormtroopers. Oh, geez.
With that, we'd like to shout out. Okay. Well, didn't realize that would happen. It's Monday night for you. So we will shout out our Diamond and new members. No new members as of the time of show notes being put together. But if you want to become a new member, check out the channel on YouTube. You can join the membership on YouTube. And then when you come over to the Discord, let us know your member level. We will shout out new members at the silver and gold level and the following episode that we record. But our diamond members, as always, are Rex Bleen, Rupert Pond, Full Double Animal Fries, AP, Keith, and Mitch 528. We appreciate your continued patronage of the show. And to all of our other members at the gold and silver levels, we appreciate you guys being members as well. We have over 120 members on a show with 540 plus subscribers. So the members are a dedicated bunch We appreciate you individually, all and collectively. So that's going to do it for this week. We look forward to seeing you next week. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.